If you were born between 1976 and 1985, you exist in a unique neurological gap. You are what sociologists call a Xennial, or the Oregon Trail generation. You remember the sound of a dial-up modem, but you manage your entire life on an iPhone. You wrote cursive letters, but you code in Python. You are the last humans to know the world before the internet, and the first to master it when it arrived. For years, you might have felt squeezed between the cynical independence of Gen X and the digital optimism of millennials. But neuroscience reveals that your hybrid childhood didn't just give you funny memories of cassette tapes, it literally rewired your brain architecture. You possess a specific form of cognitive ambidexterity, the ability to use both the deep, slow processing circuits of the analog world and the fast, adaptive circuits of the digital world. While the world obsesses over the speed of Gen Z and the experience of boomers, fMRI studies suggest that your brain type is actually the most resilient, adaptable, and future-proof model we have. In the coming age of artificial intelligence, your brain is not obsolete. It is the bridge. Let's decode the 5 neurological advantages hidden in your analog digital history. Trait number 1, the Hippocampal Superpower. Your brain features a mental GPS that modern generations simply did not build. Think back to your teenage years. If you wanted to go to a party, you didn't type an address into Waze. You looked at a physical map, you memorized the route, and you navigated by landmarks. This seems trivial, but biologically it was massive training. Neuroscience calls this allocentric navigation. The famous London taxi driver study proved that humans who navigate complex routes by memory have a significantly larger, denser posterior hippocampus, the area of the brain responsible for long-term memory and spatial processing. While younger generations offloaded this cognitive load to GPS immediately, you spent your critical developmental years building a dense, robust internal atlas. You don't just follow the blue line, you understand the territory. This means your brain is wired for structural visualization. You can see the big picture, the context, and the layout of a problem in a way that a brain dependent on turn-by-turn directions struggles to do. You have the architecture of a pathfinder. Trait number 2. Vagal Resilience. This comes from what we now jokingly call the latchkey childhood. You walked home alone. You rode your bike out of the neighborhood until the streetlights came on. If you fell and scraped your knee, you didn't have a cell phone to call for help instantly. You had to assess the damage, wipe it off, and pedal home. Polyvagal theory calls this stress inoculation. According to polyvagal theory, this intermittent, manageable stress during childhood is the primary builder of vagal tone. Your vagus nerve is the superhighway between your brain and your body. A high vagal tone means you can experience a spike of cortisol, fear, stress, or pain, and then self-regulate back to calm without external help. Modern childhoods, often defined by constant supervision and immediate digital rescue, can deprive the nervous system of this training. Your neglect was actually accidental Navy SEAL training. You learned that you are competent. You learned that if you get lost, you can find your way back. In a corporate world defined by crisis and uncertainty, this makes your nervous system antifragile. When others panic, you pivot. Trait number 3, mastery of the default mode network. You possess a superpower that is becoming extinct. The ability to be bored. Remember sitting in the back of a car for 3 hours with no iPad? Remember waiting for a friend who was late with no phone to scroll through? You stared out the window, you daydreamed, you let your mind wander. Neuroscience now knows that this state activates the default mode network, or DMN. The DMN is the brain's genius lounge. It is the specific neural network that activates only when you are not processing external input. It is responsible for autobiographical memory, future simulation, and moral reasoning. It is where creativity is incubated. Today, the moment a gap in stimulation occurs, We fill it with a screen. We suffocate the DMN. But your brain was wireframed in an era of productive boredom. You know how to sit with a problem. You know how to let an idea marinate without needing a constant dopamine hit. This allows you to connect dots that others miss. While the digital native brain is often input dependent, your brain is output capable. Trait number 4, the dopamine baseline. You grew up with delayed gratification as a default setting. If you wanted to hear your favorite song, you didn't click Spotify. You waited for the radio DJ to play it. If you took a photo, you didn't see it instantly. You waited a week for the film to develop. This creates a fundamentally different relationship with dopamine, the brain's reward chemical. Your nucleus accumbens was trained on reward prediction error, the thrill of the chase and the patience of the wait. Compare this to the algorithmic loop of today, where the reward is instant, constant, and endless. This creates a high tolerance, meaning you need more and more stimulation just to feel normal. Because your reward system matured before the invention of the infinite scroll, you have a distinct advantage: dopamine control. You can engage in deep work. You can pursue long-term goals that don't offer immediate applause. In a world of distraction, your ability to wait is your competitive edge. Trait number 5, contextual cognitive flexibility. This is the synthesis of everything. Your brain is bilingual. You speak the language of human intuition, face-to-face nuance, and analog patience, but you also speak the language of digital speed, data, and efficiency. A study by developmental psychologists suggests that the prefrontal cortex, the CEO of the brain, finishes maturing around age 25. For Xennials, this maturation coincided exactly with the explosion of the internet. You built your executive function in the real world and then applied it to the digital world. This brings us to the future, the AI era. There is a fear that AI will replace human thinking, and for those who only know how to process data, that might be true. But AI is pure digital logic. It has no context. It has no nuance. It has no vagal tone. This is where you win. The workplace of 2026 and beyond doesn't need more calculators. It needs conductors. It needs brains that can take the raw, chaotic output of an AI and filter it through human wisdom, ethics, and gut feeling, which is actually your insula reading your somatic markers. You are the only generation in history that can bridge this gap. You are the translators. You have the analog soul to understand what humans need and the digital architecture to build it. So stop feeling like you are falling behind the digital natives. Stop feeling like you are too slow for the algorithm. Your slowness is your depth. Your memory is your map. Your boredom is your creativity. The future doesn't belong to the ones who run the fastest. It belongs to the ones who know where they're going. And you have been drawing the map your entire life.